Hey, Clive here again. This is part two in my series on me basically reviewing the demo of Liquid, reviewing Liquid demos. Obviously, every player in this server is much better than me as a player. They have better aim, they have better decisions usually when they're actually in the game, better mechanics, better movement, better everything, okay? Obviously, I'm a nobody, I'm a complete scrub, but I still thought it'd be fun to look at Liquid and look at what they're doing, and to basically just conclude things and observe things based on a team perspective, based on things like map control, mid control, communication, um, spacing, and timing as a team, like togetherness, getting trades and whatnot. So I looked at them in a match where they played on Dust 2 and they got clobbered, and I wanted to look at them here on Mirage, and here they did really well. So this was their last ESCA match. I wanted to look at it and just see where they went. When I look at teams, I basically, when I watch any demo, I look at it pretty thoroughly from the perspective of just about everybody. Again and again and again, especially on crucial rounds. Sometimes on an eco you can get an idea of where everybody is without being a crucial round. So right here, it's pretty standard. Now that I saw them play Dust 2, they usually have Flowstick, who's their lurker, buy a set of nades to throw a fake, and then they have a Dren, who both their op and support player, kind of like a lot of teams. Envious, most famously, would have their op be their support player. NIP had it with Faflarn, and even with Olu to this day. And basically, Dren will be using his nades for the execute. Or not. He might even actually be throwing the fake with Flowstick. So I should probably just watch how they execute and go from there. I think they're just... This is good. Like, they're waiting to see if there's... Obviously, they have zero, like, mid-control. Like, it's very rare that a team would do this. But, like, push somebody cat and push somebody connector and push somebody window room on pistol round. But I wouldn't be surprised if, like, a team like Fnatic did it. So they're kind of just feeling things out here. And then, same thing in B-Tons. They're just feeling things out. If this is the A... Yeah, I think, like, right here, Adrena and Flowstick have thrown their smokes. And they smoked off stairs and jungle. And they're just sitting and waiting. And even now, like, Desi has pushed up cat. Valens is just holding from market. It's kind of interesting. Haven't really gone anywhere, though. Adren is throwing out both of his flashes and having Flowstick push up ramp, I think. And this is where we might see... yeah, Flowstick is trying to get into connector. Yeah, this is where we're seeing come out of B halls. This is pretty broken. It's just a bunch of like pistol round aim duels at this point. Hiko and Santhington have the bomb. It's a pretty tough situation for Nitro. They can just like double peek or not peek and miss time and then peek. So that's difficult, obviously. If I was to go down into like why that round didn't work, it would probably start off with someone like Liege, perhaps. My iteration of this, by the way, what I like is 3 people throwing the A-smokes. Like, you actually waiting like they did, and then 3 people throwing the A-smokes, and you actually executing and, like, running with it hardcore, just running straight into connector. I think right here, this is the round after. Now I want to watch this round again. And I want to watch it from Flow 6 perspective. So a bunch of waiting. He throws a smoke. See, I don't get this, that he throws these two smokes. They throw these two smokes, and like nobody's peeking ramp. On a better team, like this would almost scream fake. He's flashing himself out. Like CT isn't smoked. He smoked jungle. If there's somebody under Valk, now there would be. That's a pretty good flash actually for CT. That's not bad. I think somebody just makes. Yeah, that is insane. What? Yeah, Desi just makes like a vac kind of play there. I want to watch that again from Desi's perspective. That is ridiculous. Desi pushes. This is also ridiculous from like Nylum's perspective. No flashes, no anything. Desi's just pushing mid for like info, and I mean he got a ton, right? But he's not pushing anything with his team or anything. So this is like that solo wolf player. Like if they would have just ran out mid, Desi would have got probably slaughtered unless he could have won some 1v1 aim duels or 1v3 aim duels or whatnot. Now these smokes come out A, and he's still just waiting for that cat player. There's nothing cat. I think maybe there's a gap in that smoke and he sees flow 6 feet or something. I don't know. Yeah. He barely sees his foot and just. That's insane. And then he can come back B and help B because Valens is actually really good at being a solo player, believe it or not. Mostly due to his passivity. He can just back off and have his teammates come before he starts really engaging, as he's doing right there. Like that's just honestly good play by Valens. No, I don't agree. Like Liege is one of your more aggressive players. You're giving one of your more aggressive players the bomb, and this is what happened. This is why like there's roles in Counter-Strike and tendencies. 9 times out of 10, Liege is going to feel it's his duty to chase and make this frag. And when he doesn't, the bomb just drops right there. So it's like a huge reason why that round, the pistol round, went to shit, right? So we could watch this whole pistol round from like Liege's perspective. He starts with a bomb. He's lit, like, I don't know. Liquid makes his same mistake. They made the same mistake on Dust too. Where like let's just entry frag with the guy who has the bomb. Like he'll just chase people, and if the bomb's down, we'll just recover it and plant. I mean, I don't see the logic in that. Sorry, like call me a terrible player. Look at my stats, but like that's just illogical. Anybody can point that out. You don't need a doctorates in Counter-Strike to point shit out like that, right? So I think Valens smokes it. They're like, fuck it, let's go through the smoke. We don't have a flash. We're going, right? We're going. And they decide to go as a team, which I like. But yeah, Liege is gonna, like, in reality, he's checking site, which is good. I don't know why Liege has bomb here. Like, if anything, Nitro or Fugly. Probably Fugly, even though I would want somebody to stay in apps. But they kind of have to check. Nitro's fighting that fight. Valens is straight Liege. Like, that's it. The round's over. Right there and then. This round is pretty much done with where they're positioned, with where Semphis is. Like, I mean, Fugly kills Desi, that's cool and whatnot from apps, but Fugly could have had the bomb, not frag Desi there. Nitro could have watched Cat. Elige could have watched the door, like the market push from like the bench area and cleared sight, and Fugly could have dropped down and planted, and then jumped back up and gotten into apps, and they would have at least had a plant, and then had to worry about the post plant from there. But like at this point, they have to recover that bomb, Like, Nitro has to make an insane play here for anything to happen successfully. Fugly jumps down, frags Semphis. That's a pretty good play. And Nitro's chasing balance. Fugly helps him out. That's a good play. Like, this is right here. You would say, okay, no, it's fine. It's a 2v3. But, like, this is before, I believe, the trades come in. Yeah, Sangs takes out Adren. And because of the positioning that I think Fugly needed to be, like, not even just the positioning, just where the bomb is located. They have to cross, like, Fugly has to cross the Eco's crosshair and Sangs' crosshair just to get that bomb. It's not happening. Like, it's just not happening. And then there you go, Nitro has to... So that whole round, again, could have been won, and Liquid repeatedly does this. Just don't give your entry fragger the bomb. Who's going to be the entry fragger? Have defined roles. Like, you know, Fugly has the bomb in that situation. You have a way greater chance of putting that round. Yes, it's nice to keep a guy in apps, but having, like, two guys, one go up cat and one go up into market, would be cool too. So, anyway, I don't need to watch the rest of that round. I just want to see if they force up here or not. They do. Fugly must have got a lot of frags, huh? Oh, he's going ump. He goes ump armor. Okay, he's gaining armor. And they have a few flashes and a smoke. So this could be just like a spawn execute thing. But, like, if you do this here and there, it'll work. Like, as long as you're not doing it all the time. Because if you're doing it all the time, like, again, by the way, Desi, like, lone pushing mid, unless somebody flashes. And none of them have flashes. Nobody on Nylum has flashes. So Desi here will literally, like, push up mid and peek mid alone, dry. Yep, he's doing it right now. You can see it on the minimap. And there's nobody peeking window room. There's nobody peeking connector to peek mid with him. He's peeking mid alone. Like, these are things that Nylum is doing that can and probably in the future will be taken advantage of. I think they're just gonna set up here and go, right? Yeah, they're gonna go. Maybe yeah, I think Flosick is flashing and now he's just throwing a smoke. So Valens is completely white, throwing a smoke, but it's too late. Like, it is just too late. This is see, this is funny. Like, this happens like at every level of CS. When players have, like, armor tech 9, the way they play is different. Because it's like, yeah, all I have is armor tech 9 anyway. Like, I might as well be tight and be aggressive and like, you know, try to make something happen and trade for my teammate and be right there. When players have, like, armor, like a few nades and an AK-47, they're almost, like, never actually playing off their teammate and, like, close to their teammate and spacing well. Like, they're almost baiting their teammates more so when they have better weapons than when they don't. So this is great too, by the way. Let's see. Yeah, this is pretty decent, like, as far as positioning is concerned post plant. I like it a lot. Fosik and apps watching. I mean, Fugly's watching the aggro cat. Or Alicia, sorry. And Alicia's, like, a pretty good aimer. If he wants to make that kind of a frag, those are necessary frags, really. And I don't think anybody goes like Nitro kind of. So all of them, every counter-terrorist is in market right now, and they still have, like, a flash. They're winning this round as long as it sticks together. Like, that dink, by the way, right there to Nitro is, like, the best thing that could have happened to him. If he would have not been dinked, he probably would have, like, aggroed in the market and died. But keeping numbers at this point is, like, extremely important because it gives the retaking CTs more to worry about. Elise throws his flash, blinds the crap out of Semphis. I think it was called too, because, like, nobody. Adren is sitting watching the flank. This is great post plant positioning. Like, there's no way Nylum can win this. Yeah, it's over. So, I mean, you gotta give Elise a lot of credit for that. That's a great entry by Elise, but it's opened up. See, that's what I'm like. A great entry by Elise at this level always has to be linked with a support player, that being Flowsick in this example, throwing a really good flash, and the entry fragger, that being Elise in this example, timing the flash and turning with the flash beautifully. Like, Valens is completely white. Elise kills a guy who's blind because his teammate flashes for him. That's good CS. That's like well timed, probably well communicated. Of course, let's see if they can do that over the course of this match. So they should know that they're either ecoed or pistol armored here, economy wise, and I think Adren is asking Fugly to pretty much fast lyric B-apps. If not, just check out B-apps. So that's a really, I guess, late, like by the time that flash pops, I'm gonna smidge into it, but him and Fugly and Nitro peek it just right. He gets Nitro into underpass, which is really good. Like, if you look at their positioning, having a guy top mid, and having, this is like perfect, if you will, default, which you have to see. Yeah, Leash smoking, nading, connector. That's kind of like a pseudo default, actually. Yeah, alright, so Fugly dropped Nitro into underpass, so they're basically just faking like they have somebody mid to keep them honest, which is good. Nitro's able to make that frag. I mean, if it comes to him, great, that's the kind of frags that we're talking about. And now, instead of him flanking, Nitro makes another frag. They trade out the Liege. I think that was Fugly who came out of the balcony. Terrorist win. That's solid CS. Solid trading, I think. I kind of want to look at it again, to be honest. That's good. Map control, they're making sure nobody's pushing. All of that's good. Peeking, making sure nobody's aggroing. Wait, is that Elite? What? No, okay, that's Nitro. That is actually Nitro. Isn't it? No, that's Liege. Okay, so it's a Liege that they got into underpass. Elijah. Smokes jungle, pretty decent. Oh, this is a completely different round. But it's the same setup. Okay, I like that. It's the same setup but with different players. What I didn't want to watch actually on this is Leash. I just wanted to watch like what nades they're throwing before they're going into A. And who's throwing what. They could have just walked up dry, which I like to do. I think someone's already engaging. It's not Nitro. Might be Flowsick. Yeah, Flowsick is engaging people outside, and Adren is mauling under balcony. That pops. Yeah, okay, so that's Sansington that he was fighting with. They're not really like, yeah, they're just running out dry, which is fine. You don't need to like run out not dry when you know that they're on pistol armor. I mean, you can. I would actually recommend it, but whatever. Hiko, there's just on Mirage. There's like so much that they can flash dodge behind. Yeah. Perfect spacing, perfect trading. The rest, just pure aggression there. When you're up by numbers, you can afford to make those kinds of plays. So Fugly nades that. I think him and Nitro are kind of like just like waiting to see if there's any kind of they push underpass, they clear underpass. I like that. They clear it together. They double peek it. They flash it. They didn't say to be pushing BX, but let's see if Fugly checks again because he doesn't know. Like somebody could have pushed and walked it. He's third out. He checks. He's not a complete idiot. Okay. Now if you look at like the rest of the map, he's already up. Kalish already. This is great map control. Like this is what you want to see out of Mirage. Is you want to see 3 people mid, like 1 person like lurking around the perhaps area. And by 3 people mid, I mean like you want somebody underpass every time. You want somebody like chair watching the cap push, and you want somebody top mid. That being the Dren. I mean, I really like this play out of Liquid. Like, map control wise, just what they're doing. Everything that they're doing is solid here. This is, they have to know that they're ecoing though. So, really they're taking, the only thing that I don't like is they're taking risks, so to speak, that they don't need to be taking. By going into this default. They're going together though, which is good. Like if they would have, if the counter terrorist would have pushed mid on a leash, Adren was there to help him out. If they would have pushed like mid to like underpass, Nitro and Fugly would have helped each other out. If they would have just ran into Palace, Flosic might have had a hard time. But like, I could literally go back, and I'm 100% sure Flosic flashed his way into Palace anyway. Fuck it, let's see if he did or not, right? So, that's the little thing, right? So Flosic goes into Palace. Like, if they put a rush Palace... No, he didn't. He's just sitting here waiting for the push, though. That's pretty smart. I mean, this is a real good position. He doesn't necessarily need to flash and get to here to do that. He can sit here. I'm kind of blowing him out, though, huh? Like, next time somebody's just gonna push and like wait right there, and, like pre-fire where he was posted up. But yeah, on an eco, like, or against an eco, like on an anti-eco, I mean, really they're getting a lot of like info, right? Making sure that nobody's pushing, and if they are, they could take it. And then what I like is they're just sticking together. And a lot of times you necessarily don't want to throw a lot of smokes against an eco. You have so much more firepower, you can outshoot them anyway. And they can hide in your smokes and kind of cause some trouble there. They can make some randy and like really unpredictable plays. They wouldn't if they had full guns and armor. They kill the smokes, they check the bait box. Elijah gets 3 eco frags. Elijah gets 3 eco frags, helps boost his numbers. Alright, so this is the first gun round. This is like super important. And let me see if they do the same, like a similar setup. They kind of aren't actually. First gun round, they did all those defaults, and like first gun round, they're just walking through people into the apps. I mean, They're not executing right away though. Like, that's kind of like an escort, right? Hayes was talking about how a lot of times if you just throw one person somewhere, they're not necessarily going to be able to do anything. And here you see like Fugly escorting Nitro by flashing him into underpass. That's good too, right? So I think they went and made sure there was no B-apps pushed together. I like that. I thought they were just going to run in there like idiots or something. I'm glad they didn't. And they're basically just like taking shit together. This is like teamwork 101. I'm extremely impressed with them. And now they have their lurker playing A-ramp. Like, it's pretty obvious why. What I should be doing is I should be like reviewing why Nylum wasn't able to like win anything. I kind of have, but like what I'm seeing out of Liquid, just from their setups and their defaults, I really like. Now they're bringing everything back. They checked. Fosik is throwing a smoke jungle, I believe. Smoking off like maybe jungle infrastructure. Smoking CT. Fosik's just leading out here. CT goes down. He steps out. That's a good trade. If that happens like right there, like within like a second, usually that's a pretty good trade, right? And I think Valens just like jumped up on ticket boost and killed Nitro, and Elijah is able to hit him right away. Good. Or I mean, sorry. Not sure that this is like a good spot. That smoke dissipated right there. So, it seems like something I would do, like timing wise. Like I think that smoke's still up, but it's like not. And I'm like thinking it still is. But right here, like Fugly should never lose this. Really, this is just like CS 101. It's planned for him. Great plant. Great anchor man. He's doing exactly what he should. Really, he's peeking it. He knows he's back on the bomb. Oh, he's super low. Pistol fake. And now he has to aggro him. Does he have enough time? No, he doesn't. So that's an awesome round, really. Like that's how you win a gun round, really. From execute to everything. I just wanna alright, so Nitro smokes window room, nades window room, flashes into connector. Like Desi here would usually push this. And I don't think maybe Adren's still watching, I don't know. Yeah, Adren isn't necessarily watching it in a sense of like he wouldn't be able to have if Desi pushed that, Nitro would be dead there. So Elijah's already running away. He's not still watching the cap push and making sure like they escorted each other a lot, but like you still have to escort your teammate into connector there and watch the cap push. That could have gone wrong. But now that Nitro's safely in connector, it's not necessarily a problem. Maybe. That's painful. So Nitro dies there. I think it's Fugly that I want to watch, really. They throw up their smokes. Not even that many flashes. Like, this is all just, like, spacing and trading. Fosik gets that flash. They get partially flashed because they're still looking at eco after he makes that call. And Sansington... This is where Sansington kills... Yeah, it's Elijah who's actually in a pretty good position. That's good. Trading wise, that's really good. So Bleach throws the CT smoke. Having somebody go upstairs, super solid. Good trade. Everybody, all the routes that people are taking here are like solid routes to be able to trade for your teammates. Yeah. Pretty solid. Ooh. Looking at this round, I guess that's he saved last round, right? And after killing Fugly, and they all just have like an eco. So if Adren's a good IGL, he would tell him, hey, they're either gonna pistol armor behind Desi's AK, or they're just gonna save. They're right there. Nitro figured out they're just saving. You're just cleaning up the underpass push. I guess on this, he wasn't even escorted to underpass. He's just sitting there watching it. Nitro's a pretty good player, obviously. He can have some faults, but 9 times out of 10, he's gonna make those plays just fine. He hears them pushing underpass because he's got out. And pretty much holds his own against Nico. The rest of the team is pretty much out mid. They're in a pretty good position to trade Fugly. The lead turns around and automatically trades Fugly. That shows pretty good awareness. It helps that both of the A players are just pushing A ramp here. Not sure what that pistol fake was, but it works! Pistol fake behind you. I don't even think he was trying to pistol fake. I think he wanted, like, to grab Balance gun or something. By the way, like, with Nylum, one thing, Nylum's just never taking mid control. Liquid's taking mid control every round. Guess who's winning? Liquid. Nylum is like never like flashing for each other and pushing things together like mid. Liquid's flashing like people into underpass and flashing people up mid and taking that control all the time. And they're escorting people up into B apps, which I really like. Instead of just having one guy go there and maybe get picked. So the way their default starts is actually pretty cool. I'm not sure if Fallon's... I think Fallon's did peek him. He knows they're there. So already that gets Desi to like rotate back and then they just fall off of it. He can do so much off of that too. Leech is already mid. I think Nitro is underpass still, which is good. And the drum's just gonna throw a fake here, probably. Molly. Now right here, what I want to know is, when he throws this, what are these guys doing? They didn't buy that at all, by the way. Nor should they have. I like that though. It's the kind of that's the kind of shit right there that Agenda that like will never show up on the scoreboard. But I really want to watch Fugly. on this round. Oh, he smokes window. That's a good smoke from underpass. I think Semphis flashed mid and then ran off window. After they smoked mid window, I think they had a pretty good indication that they're there, especially with that flash from Nitro, I believe. Nitro flashing like Fugly into connector. And here you see like a counter flash, I believe from Hiko. Actually, it could have been Nitro throwing a second flash. No, it wasn't. He only has one. God damn it. So I want to kind of watch this from Hiko's perspective, actually. A lot of times when you're watching like your demo, if you watch it from the perspective of your enemy, like you'll get a greater idea of what's going on, what works, what doesn't, what blinds them, what doesn't. It's pretty cool. So that's what Hiko does at A, huh? Secrets being exposed. Alright, so Hiko flashes mid here once. This is, yeah. So he's like immediately flashing for Sansington to peek out mid from connector, but there's nobody there, right? And then immediately they just like give up early. Like once they have mid control, they're like, alright, no point in using this to our advantage. If like Sansington would have continued pushing, or even would have pushed like underpass, that could have been helpful. But they're kind of playing it safe, right? Or if he would have pushed underpass with Semphis, kind of made like a JW Crims play. I want to continue watching Hiko though. Like literally, Nylum has zero information other than maybe Desi and Valens hear them in B apps. And I'm not even sure, and I'm not sure, and I'm not gonna go check. So I think right there, Nitro threw the flash for Sansington and kind of blinded him. I don't know where that other flash comes from. That's insane. I think that's Nitro. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Nitro. No, because he only has one flash. Alright, so Fugly smokes. Semphis throws that flash, right? The rebound flash. Pretty much every opper throws that rebound flash. Mirage window. Nitro throws this flash, which I'm sure he called out. I don't know why. He's like, okay. That second flash must be from Flowsick. Is that Flowsick's flash? I don't know, dude. I'm gonna find out what happened just by doing this. Alright, so there they are all in the apps. So push Sansington into connector. He's alone. Like, Nylum is getting zero map control. So there's Fugly coming up, right? There's Sansington. Oh no! Did I miss it? No, 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 no! It's weird. That second flash came from like a Liege, maybe Elijah. not even a problem. That's the fucked up part. The fucked up part, it's not even a problem. But I just want to see this because this was a huge problem on Dust 2, but it hasn't been a problem on Mirage so far. Yeah, Nitro throws that flash. The fuck? Did he throw two? Did he pick up a flash? I don't know, man. I don't know where that flash came from. Didn't come from Adren. Did it come from Flowsick? Flowsick's just watching the mid push. It's like that's sick right there. Like Flowsick there, if Sandington would have pushed up all the way, he probably would have met Flowsick. But he could have gotten up to here. I think the push underpass would have helped. He could have gotten up to here. Semphis drops down underpass, and then when they realize there's nobody top mid, maybe he falls underpass with Semphis or something. I don't know. Sometimes you don't want to get too pushy, but like with players like Desi and Sandington, like you can. They have the aim for it, and like Semphis, like you can. If Nylon was just like a super aggressive CT side team, they would probably be really successful. Flowsick being careful here. Team's not even up. This is where he throws the smoke into A, which is odd. No, Adren's already thrown his fake, and they just didn't go for it. I mean, it held Desi there for a while. Yeah, that's Flowsick's flash. So Flowsick throws this flash and just flashes the shit out of his teammates. I don't know if this was like, if he was like, "Yo, bros, I'm gonna flash," but if he didn't, instead of Fugly cowering in this corner, like Fugly could be killing this guy right here. Sandington like would be dead. Which is funny because Sandington's just spraying blindly, which tends to happen. So I think they smoke. Flowsick also smoked like connector off. Elish comes up, checks under. I guess it's just a heads up play by Fugly. Crazy. So here's the flash of doom. If that flash was timed better, oh, it's an easy frag on Translington and maybe even Semphis. It's not, so they have to enter dry. Lee's just checking his right and his left. Fugly's checking. Alright. I don't know. That's suspect as fuck. Maybe Nitro felt him or something? I don't know. I think Nitro hears him reloading or something. Yeah, Nitro probably heard him reloading, and probably just spam the smoke on the right side. That's good communication by those two. I think they do have like really good chemistry, like Fugly and Nitro do. Fugly's Eco CT. He's fighting him alone, really. He's just playing. I think Nitro pushed that smoke and died to Semphis, which is kind of funny. Valens picks Adren. Like, Adren throws that fake. I think he like I don't know how to lurk either, so like I would have done the same thing and like died in the same way, which is funny because I'm terrible. But like, I guess it's just a matter of like knowing the right timing.
that Val's just gonna sit there in B-apps waiting for that last guy until the bomb is actually planted. When there's 3 people still alive at A or mid or whatever. I like this play. He just like smokes off his back and just like waits for Hiko to come out CT. But considering it's Hiko, like he might not be the person. Like Hiko will never, in this kind of a situation, Hiko's like the last guy to be making the first interaction, retaking. Especially since Hiko knows that they know where Hiko is. They know where Semphis is. So Elijah goes and sniffs him out. It was pretty good. Yeah, that's... I wonder what happened at Flowsick, really. That's... Post-plant, that's probably all, like, dependent on Adren's inability to lurk. And then Flowsick's post-plant positioning, really. Even Nitro tried... I mean... Nitro didn't have a flash, so they really pushed through that smoke. And Semphis made him pay for it. But, yeah, it'd probably been cooler if he would have just hung around for the retake and played post plant instead of trying to get a frag, pushing through a smoke into jungle. Again, watching just Flowsick right here, he's kind of supporting. Would have been better if he would have communicated that flag. I think he's fighting Hiko. Once the bomb is planted, is he still fighting? Okay, no, he's not. I think where Flowsick is and where Leash planted it, he can still peek the guy if he's planning. So Flowsick could actually stick around for a while. He doesn't necessarily have to play numbers at all. Like, Leash is your front man on this post plant. You could just let Leash do it and have Fugly and Flowsick kind of play the bomb. Especially when you know that there's an op jungle. But I think Flowsick is just trying to, like, if anybody comes stairs, they're mine. And then he gives up that position, and he just, why, like, this is completely unnecessary. Yes, Elise just killed somebody, but this right here, this is, like, picture perfect NACS. Even with the molly, he didn't have to do any of this. He could have just fallen and let them, like, aggress. And then the molly will be out in a second anyway. Like, he could have fallen back into Palace instead of pushing with the molly. Like, that's what they want you to do. Like, he literally played right into their hands. That's the reason why they threw the molly in the first place. This is just going to be way too difficult for Fugly. He's going to have to make so many different plays. Yeah, not happening.
Bomb has counter-terrorist. Counter-terrorists win.
That's really funny. I think he finally meant to... That's really funny. I think he's supposed to smoke window. Or maybe connector. As a connector. Here they're just walking back to T-spawn. Oh, usually they do like all that under, like having a guy underpass and mid-control. I think here, and it's okay to do this, like totally. They're just like, let's just do, I think a lot of it has to do with actually that failed smoke. Window room. Maybe it doesn't, I don't know. Maybe Adren was going to do this anyway. They just throw, I think, their A smokes. Standard. They throw their flashes, they throw their mollies. Elijah's so good with that, by the way. And they're peeking out with it, and they're mauling just right. Of course, there isn't a molly for like under balcony. I don't know if there needs to be. I don't know if anybody's in a position. Yeah, nobody's in a position where they can trade. Leaves there, really. Of course, they're flashed, but like, even if Nitro wasn't flashed, he's like in the middle of the smoke right now. He can't trade his entry fragger. Hiko makes another sick play. Hiko's insane. Finally, Nitro drops down. Nitro drops down of trade and kill Hiko. Just killing too many of his teammates. And Nitro dies. It's Ansington. So again, want to look at this from Flow 6 perspective. Flow 6 just watching the push here, really. The volume does not need to be that high, sorry. Oh, I'm pretty sure Semphis. Is it Semphis? It could be somebody else. It could be like Valens or maybe even Sansington throwing all these flashes. But like, these kind of counter flashes are like really good CT side. Pretty solid by them. Even like early, they don't have mid control, but they're set up pretty well for A between the Hiko and Semphis, and even Sandington here to help. Once these smokes come out, Semphis gets smoked off, like he's just backing up. They pretty much like isolated on Hiko. I like these 3 smokes, obviously. I think Semphis just burnt a flash, I mean. And Sandington's also probably just tossing counter flashes, I believe. Pretty soon here. Yeah, right there. That's a really good counter flash. I think Hiko just peeks and kills him. And then the funny thing is, like, the flash makes it so that nobody's trading on Hiko, which is really cool. And then Sands throws another flash. And he actually, this is so sick by Sandington. I think Sands throws another flash, and Hiko peeks with it and kills. Like, they were set up for A. They were set up for, like, if you're going to come just straight up A ramp, like, we're going to kill you. But they need to work on everything else. Sandington's flash here and Hiko is, like, just insane. I thought Sandington was going to jump into Tetris, which would have just been like, dude, you knew there would be nobody else Tetris, like you're a boss, but I think he just jumps down into Sandwich, which is probably a lot more safe, and kills Adren and kills Nitro. And I think Hiko swung out wide into Sandwich, and Nitro killed him. It's pretty cool. That's just like an insane hold, timing-wise and with the flashes, CT side. Like, that's what you want to see CT side. Like, that is such a crossfire. Once Sandington got here, but then the helping with flashes and Hiko timing that. Hiko's insane. Like, aim is just insane, obviously, that he can just, like, peek, kill somebody, and then a flash goes off so you can't, like, revenge frag him. Even though if Sandington would have thrown a flash, then Hiko would have peeked and then killed somebody, that would be different. At this point, there's almost no way, like, Fugly wins this unless he's actually Hiko. Semphis just holds that with the op. But yeah. Thought that was pretty cool. They have more rounds to work with, though. Which is funny, because, like, that round they got demolished was the round where they kind of went back to, like, Adren's roots of just, like, let's do 4-1, execute. Whereas the default has been working really well for them. And I think they're gonna go back to it here. Yep, they have like two people out mid, just peeking the mid push really, like the aggressive mid push, the wrap, and then Nitro and Fugly just peeking the long or the apps push, then probably coming down to underpass. It looks like it's pretty up in apps, which I like. Like he's usually not this up. I think Fugly like escorted Nitro into underpass. They got a guy underpass. Now they can start making moves towards mid, and they smoke a window from underpass, which I like. You don't need somebody going out fast mid. You don't have to even smoke mid from spawn. You can just have your underpass player do it. And now they're just walking. Like this is super like this is sick right here. This is like methodical, slow, smart CS. This is Days would be proud, guys. I think Elige is just gonna take ladder room control. Pretty strong position to have control of. Meanwhile, they're like working the bomb into the apps, which is pretty strong as well. I don't know if Fugly made any press. I don't even think he did, because Desi throws the smoke and he's off. Like he's like, oh wait, yeah, I'll stay. How does Elige make this frag? Is that just on the cat player? Yeah. Just in ladder room, he doesn't see anybody in window, and then frags the cat player. Like at this point, with him down, you can go B and just take B, no problemo. Desi gets traded out pretty well there. I don't have that many nades to work with, but oh, if Leech didn't mess that up, that'd be pretty sick. Kind of just slow people down and mark it. It's kind of foolish to peek with that, but hindsight's 20/20, right? Since that's not necessarily a very good pop flash, it's pretty obvious. Adrena can just hold window though, and now Hiko's alone to retake. You know, 1v3, but Hiko's Hiko, right? So like, look at it from Hiko's position. Is anybody giving Hiko anything other than Adrena who's holding that angle with an op, right? No. Like Fosik wasn't peeking, Fugly wasn't peeking from bench. That's pretty solid. They can do that 1v or 3v1 pretty easily. I think Nilam's on eco again. Holy shit, that's like the first... Oh, I want to see that again. Because usually Fosik's like really... Well, I thought he was. Like, pretty good. I didn't think he'd get caught by a push. I guess it's... No, he didn't even do it standard. He's just... Oh. So usually he just sits back there and waits. The one round he decided... Actually, I think the round before he was able to get up aggressively because they weren't pushing at Palace. So because they weren't doing it and they did it now, they kind of caught him unawares. Caught him slipping, you might say. But I think he figured out they're either pistol armor or they just aren't like completely saving. Fugly looks for the... Oh my god. No way Sumpus doesn't get traded out here. That's insane, though. So they just took the bomb up cat once they knew it was a save, I guess. They need to just slow down. I don't know, see, this is where like mid-round calling comes from, and with them having 59 seconds left, they can literally like just turtle and just like wait, see what happens, and that's exactly what happened right there, right? Like a Dren just goes up, gets, you start to pick the CTs one by one almost, by just being really slow and methodical, checking everything, or waiting for them to push into you. So Fugly's going into B alone is kind of scary, but I mean, now he has help. Unfortunately, Nitro died. Desi's playing this pretty well, but Fugly is going to check that because that's on eco. That's a pretty standard place for people to be. Actually, they just want people to run into sight and think that there is nobody in sight, and they can get a pistol frag. I just have a teammate who does it quite a bit. And at this point, it's just post plant. So Adrem, I think, really likes holding that angle, market window. Hiko's going for this because he's Hiko. Honestly, Hiko's insane. If he gets this, I would. Yeah, he's got it. I believe. Nope. Wow. It's really unfortunate. I think Hiko. I like Flosick, and I hate to say it to him because Flosick pretty much got kicked out of Nylum when Samfis came in. Got replaced. But I feel like once things broke down with Skadoodle and Hiko, if Hiko would have went to Liquid and was on this Liquid team that we're seeing right now, with the calls that Adren is making right now, Liquid would be pretty strong, like just as a roster in general. I'm not saying Flosick is bad. He's obviously not. He's a great player. He was able to make some pretty good like lurking plays, and he's a great supporting lurker, which is like very important. He knows how not to get picked most of the time. Like, see, he's going back to being smart and just waiting for that now. He learns from his mistakes. Like, he's a smart player, but Hiko does things that no other North American can do. Ooh, that's odd. Or not odd, that's awkward. Throwing that flash and hitting your teammate. Nothing you can do about that, really, though. Oh, it's kind of just a lineup thing. Fugly getting picked there. They haven't had... This is like the first time they're having Semphis. So I like the fact that they're changing things up, obviously, on Nylum's side, because things aren't working. Putting Semphis and having him op the apps, and then he can like kind of float around. But a lot of times I think they were escorting somebody into B apps because if there was somebody opping it, you could trade on an opper the second he shoots his op. It's pretty solid from Sands to be wary of that boost. I mean, they're just feeling out the map, and they're getting support right now from Flosick, like usual. And Alicia's coming up. Connector is pretty strong. Hiko's just an insane player, really. Be able to make any of those frags. And that one. I think this might be like the last. I don't know if they pistol armored here. No, they just pistoled. I like watching these kinds of plays. I think they might go fast. Look, finally, here you see Nylum have the balls to like push out 3 people in, which is unfortunate because this is like the round that they go fast B, and if you push out people mid, fast B is like a super strong counter. But Valen's pretty decent solo player. Like he'll play pretty passive, and he'll get a frag here, and I think he'll just fall off. Nope, he goes for more frags. Okay, well he gets another one, but he gives him the sight. But it's okay because Desi's there anyway to support him. I think Elijah's able to get the plant anyway, which is nice, but it's not gonna be a problem for the rest of the CTs. They can get a good buy here though with good utility. I think they're gonna go straight into their same default. They're not worried about Semphis having that op though, which is crazy. Semphis is nuts, by the way. Like, anybody says Semphis is bad, I don't think they know what they're talking about. Like, Semphis is pushing into Palace with an op. I really like that. That's like a JW move. So yeah, I guess they're taking mid. Alicia's smoking window room. Like right now, this kind of mid control and this little information that they have, the only information they have really is like, there's no one Palace. I don't hear anyone in BX. Or maybe they did. I'm not too sure actually. If I don't think Fugly threw any smokes. Fugly's more of like a slow lurker, to be honest. Now Fugly's kind of joining the squad. Smoking. That should be connector that he's smoking off. Yeah. And they're just looking at Cat. I think they're gonna flash Alicia up Cat. Nope, Alicia's just dry peeking. That's strange. Everybody has a flash except for Dran and nobody's using it. And Alicia's peeking Cat alone. I mean, I guess they're still just getting. That's pretty cool that Fugly, Fugly and Flowsick, they caught up pushing Desi. So Desi wanted to push for even more info because he thought they were all mid. But this is like the cool thing about map control, right? Is like, do you think that there's a contingent that they're all there? But since you guys aren't just all in one place, people like Desi like meet their demise. So they're able to get people in window room. These are the people, Elige and I believe Nitro. These are the people who should be making like the first interaction. Anywhere, everybody else should be kind of like just sitting tight. But they're coming together, which is pretty strong. They might get shot from Catwalk. No, there's nobody there. Sarrington just gets caught at the wrong time. Hiko's insane. Just making more plays, I guess. I think Dren might have peaked like toll booth or ticket booth. Hiko just gets caught out. Semphis gets caught out. These are pretty strong plays, just in general. Like just as being a default team. Like this Liquid team is just so different. If this Liquid team here was to go to face it, or go to like Gfinity, they would get so much more done. Like, I take back everything I ever said. I hope they really stick together. They look really strong. I kind of just want to watch them. Like, I'm able to see that they can clearly play T-side. I want to watch them play CT side and see how they do. It might even be a super strong CT side team. Adren gets a kit and a smoke. Yeah. Fosik with full nades. Alicia with armor. I like this. They're playing basically like one in window room, one actually jungle. And Nylum is going like maybe straight into an A execute? I don't know. Let's find out. So Nitro still has 2 flashes than an 8. I think he's gonna not pre-nade anything and just wait. But I like this play. Good pistol round. Nitro sees these smokes and whatnot coming out. And this is when he throws his nade. Pretty well timed, obviously. And he's just waiting, not peeking ramp. That nade like landed right on Valens' head, I believe. Valens throws a pretty obvious flash. And they're going straight into CT with it. That flash from Valens has to be way better. Like, I don't know. If you want to flash CT, like maybe it can't come from there. If you want to like aggress and hit CT, I'm pretty sure that's not how Virtus Pro does it. But they have the right idea. And here, pretty much Nitro just gets caught with his pants down. Semp's making a super late play. Valens isn't going to be able to plant. Yeah, Adren is already there. They've already rotated. I believe Hiko and Zempus are remaining. Like, Hiko just needs to make a sick play here with Zempus. It's probably not going to happen. I think Zempus might have thrown that smoke, which I like, by the way. But they're pretty much all over this bomb site with just Fugly holding B just in case, which I also like. Actually, Fugly throws another smoke CT. At least he's making use of his inventory. Something comes back, gets traded out. Hiko's kind of just gotta make Hiko plays, but he can't because there's too many people on the map and he's gonna get aggroed. So next round, I mean, Leash gets a M4 right away. And I think they're just gonna run. Oh no, they're going underpass. Valens is flashing them out, man, but there's no. I mean, that flash doesn't really flash a connector, and it's gotta probably be a bloodbath. Guess he even kills one teammate. Yeah. I'm pretty sure, like, Liquid's setup here is pretty much like Fanatics. With the leash in connector and... like, that right here where Nitro is, this is where Olaf will play, like, on the same kind of a situation. Where Leashes is where Crims will play on the same situation. Where Flosic is exactly where Flusha will play on this exact same situation. Where Adrena is exactly where, like, JW will play. So that's pretty cool. And then, based on, like, the kind of reads they're getting, with this flash and all this noise the Flosic is hearing, like, this is pretty much what they're doing. I think, pretty sure Flosic throws a flash, so Elise doesn't peek. And then, right with that flash, Nitro gets up there, and he starts causing havoc. Like, literally, they ran into a focal point. Fugly's doing his job, just watching. His teammates are back. He's not going to get any frags for this, but he's playing good Counter-Strike. Good flash by Flosic, too. Yeah. I mean, that's just good CT play. They're flashing for each other, playing off of each other. I like this. You'll see Crips doing the same thing with JW. JW back there. Usually JW will have an op though. But Adren's in winter room. I don't think Adren's... yeah, Adren isn't baiting for him. And Alicia has two flashes to... oh! Adren threw a flash for him at least. It's well timed, kinda, sorta. But, could have been better. Adren could have traded that out. Flosic could trade that out. That being Stanzington. He does. I think Desi's trying to get a trade there. Flosic just falls. I think they're pretty... and even, like, that's good CS too. Like, just killing Flosic, killing Sandlington, and then Adren peeking from window and killing Valens. You see they're all peeking together, one after, like, or it's like the rhythm. oftentimes you'll know, like, if somebody peeks you and shoots you, that person's not going to peek again, and instead his teammate's going to peek and kill you. So that's just, like, keeping good rhythm. And Hiko's just in a position, like, yeah, it's a 1v5. I'm pretty sure, like, Hiko's found himself in those kind of situations just, like, way too much. Where it's just like, okay, it's 1v5, like, what am I going to do now? I really like Adren's calling CT side and T-side now that I've seen it. He's not even upgrading for an op. So Nylam's going to do like their A setup. And this isn't, well, not interesting actually because it's a full eco. It would be interesting to see like, because they're stressing mid control, which I really appreciate. But yeah. Liquid can be one of the better teams, honestly, in North America.
Counter-terrorists win.
I would love to see a North American team play like this against Europeans. The amount of map control they're taking and the amount of CT side aggression, yes, they're whooping Nylam's butt 14-5. Maybe teams don't do this when they're like getting beat because they lose confidence, but like to have a player like Fugly just push underpass from winter room, that's great. And look, Desi isn't even flashing himself into, like, when you watched Liquid play T-side, somebody was flashing their teammate. They're playing together as a team, and they're flashing their teammates into underpass. You're not seeing this. Desi's peeking us dry, and he's either going to win this battle against Fugly, who's probably not as good of an aimer, so he'll probably win. But if this is, like, Flusha, Desi's dead. No, Fugly wins. Sorry, you dry peeked and you died. Like, point proven. This is a great play by Fugly. Now all these guys have to worry about this one underpass player. Not that they necessarily will in that time. They're actually going out mid. And with that, with, like, Fugly and underpass, actually, he has pretty good control over the map. And Adren's kind of giving up mid because Elysia and Nitro are playing a weird setup on A. I think Nitro's just playing, yeah, he's playing right in front of this smoke. So if anybody comes up A ramp, they're dead, and his boy Elijah's got his back. I really like all this play out of Liquid. Like, even the amount of mid control Fugly is able to have from underpass is cool. He could have kept pushing, but that would have been obvious. So I think the lurker in him was like, no, like, go back underpass. Don't, you know, you just killed somebody, keep the man advantage. But even here, like, the same lurker in him should have been able to, like, not taken on this battle and been peeking mid alone. Like, he does not have a single teammate that can help him here. But that molly's pretty sick. I think it just exploded in Valen's face. And now Adren can literally, like, peek off of that and peek from connector. I'm pretty sure he's going to get this frag. Oh, man, Sandington kills him. That's pretty heads up. So, the crazy thing about that is, like, Fugly has a flash. Fugly could have flashed from underpass, rebound flash, and it would bounce off of this wall right here on the minimap and flash the guy top mid, and then Adren could have peeked with it. But whatever, like, they're not going to be perfect, right? Elysia's going to win that duel. It's pretty a hard duel to win, but hard fought. It's a 4v2. If Fugly and Elysia play passive and play behind, and let Flowsick and Nitro make the first engagements. They should be able to win. I like how Fugly, when he saw what was going on, he was like, yeah, I can get behind them. This is like the lurk here in Fugly. Right here, though. So he's basically aggressing and getting up. I don't think, yeah. And they're flashing from... He should have gone for that second kill, but whatever. Like, whoever threw that flash, by the way, made that play for Fugly. Not because they were flashed and that's why they died, but because any kind of attention you'll be throwing, I think it might have been Nitro, any kind of attention you might be throwing to get your team, yeah, it was Nitro. He threw from A. Like, that is just a sick double flash. So he's throwing all this kind of like cobble them up, and that helps Fugly on his lurk. That's great team play. So you can see, like, Liquid's playing as a team. They're literally playing off each other, throwing flashes for one another. I don't know about Leash, like, aggressively peeking this. I guess he is after now. Sunfist is behind those boxes. He knows that he's behind those boxes. I'm not necessarily sure if they're just gonna, like, push Sunfist here. They don't need to. They can play smart from here on out, obviously. I think they're just trying to peek like each other and, like, pester him. But yeah, if they don't peek here, like, Semphis is gonna run out of time. He's not gonna be able to make the play. Like, right there, Nitro kind of gave him an opportunity to make a play. And Nitro just, like, outshot him. That's kind of stupid, but whatever. Like, Elijah had a flash. He just didn't even use it. If I was Nylum here, like, I mean, Nylum is literally playing for their lives, to go to LAN, ESA LAN, and they're not doing any of the things that you saw Liquid doing. They're not taking, like, map control. Really, they're just, like, spawning and executing, or if they are taking map control, it's like they're not taking map control as a team. They're not, like, escorting each other into map areas like you saw Liquid do, which is just super. I'm super glad Adren and these boys are doing it. I like what I see here. This is the final round. I'm just gonna close it out, really. I don't know about a Nitro playing this like this. That's super risky to walk up there. He could have got his head chopped off, but whatever. Like, an open team like the Pug Gods probably would have made Nitro pay for that. They're not really taking any mid control, as you can see. Like, this is just pretty standard, because the way they played last round, they don't necessarily need to take mid control again. They can, and, like, look, they're looking for it. Like, Desi and Valens are sitting here looking for it, and it's not there. But they are just gonna aggressively push into A ramp. I like that. They're flashing and peeking together. They're playing off of each other. So that's team play, right? So that was a good play by Nitro and Elish. And now it looks like there's going to be an A execute. Looking like one got into Van. Developing him, they're just really crossfiring that. So yeah, that's a pretty solid, like, A execute. It's pretty solid everything, really. It's like, I really enjoyed what I saw there from Liquid. I take back pretty much everything that I said. Like, they worked on their timing, they worked on their flashes. Maybe if I could see them on Dust again, I could see them really see if they work on their timing, their flash timing on Dust, their communication on Dust. But otherwise, that was all awesome, man. That was sick.